Welcome to the Healthy Habit Hot Seat, where we chat to extraordinary humans and world-leading health experts to dive deep into the intricacies of the daily habits that have shaped their success. Remember, success leaves clues, right? I'm your host and resident healthy habit coach, Loz Antonenko, and I cannot wait to help you re-energize your life so you too can create opportunity, vitality, and abundance to become the master of your own incredible healthy destiny. Now, let's get into today's conversation. Dr. Sheehab, Faragallah, and Dr. Ibrahim El-Deeb, welcome back to the Healthy Habit Hot Seat. In the previous episode, we spoke about your successes in life and business, and I am sure you have both eaten some really diverse foods in your travels throughout your lives. If you both knew that you only had 24 hours left to live in this life, what would your day's menu look like?
I can talk about lunch. I had one of the nicest lunches in Egypt in my home village. It's called El-Fayoum. And the the name of the restaurant was Kaboria. Do you know Kaboria, Ibrahim?
Yeah, definitely.
And they had the best seafood. And I think they caught the fish from this big lake that has biblical history. And the way they spiced it, the way they cooked it is very memorable. I love it. I'd have that anytime for lunch. Breakfast, that's a hard one. My mom's breakfast probably. She has an amazing breakfast. My dad makes the falafel, the traditional Egyptian way. So that would be definitely my breakfast. And dinner.
I love how you start with lunch and then go to breakfast.
Because I'll tell you why, because I often don't eat breakfast. So it's usually 2 meals of the day. That's why I go there and backwards again.
Good point.
I one time had an amazing dinner in a small village in China somewhere. It was in Yinchuan, northern China. And again, it was seafood. That shows you that I love seafood. So I would go there, very small servings, very delicious, and keep on eating. If that was 24 hours, I could choose, and there was no restrictions in time. That was where I would go.
That sounds pretty damn epic to me. Now, can you top that, Ibrahim?
It's a very hard question, honestly.
I know, it is a really hard question.
Yeah, and I just tried to think quickly while Sheehab was speaking, and all what I had in mind, that I need to have food that my mom prepared. It doesn't matter what it is. But yeah, that's what I definitely wanted to have in my last 44 hours. Yeah.
Man, and there's nothing like mum's cooking.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, mate, that takes the cake. So from here on in, we're going to get into some of the nitty-gritty details of your daily habits. So, Sheehab, I'm going to start with you. What would you consider your healthiest habit and why? And then Ibrahim, I'm going to shoot over to you straight away. So you better think about this one, mate. You got some time.
So every morning when I get up, I do a certain type of exercise. It was taught to me by my friend's father who stayed at my house many years ago from Nigeria. And he's a fit, 70 to 80-year-old man. And he always gets up early and he does a set of exercises, and it only goes for about 5 minutes. And I asked him, what are you doing? And he said, well, this is called 5BX. And I think you can still look at Google it. And I found that these exercises were made by the Canadian Air Force before they had any gym. And so they had to be able to do these exercises anywhere, any place, because if you land a plane, you've got to be able to do it without weights or anything like that. And he persists till this day doing it, and he looks great. So I made that a habit, and I do that every morning. That's probably my healthy habit, or my habit that I do every day.
Wow.
So it takes me about 5 minutes.
I have to go look that up. 5BX.
Yes, it's short for 5 basic exercises.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes, that's my little thing.
And starts your day off nice and fresh.
That's right, yeah.
So Ibrahim, what's your healthiest habit, mate? It doesn't have to be a morning habit.
Yeah, definitely. To be honest, again, because of the time restrictions, I'm not unfortunately like doing physical exercise that frequently. From now and then, when I have a chance to do some workouts, but I would say my healthy habits that I'm grateful to keep on is I'm not smoking, I'm not drinking, and I practice fasting from now and then. And I think fasting is very, very healthy and very important to have as a habit. Yeah, like at least 3-4 days every month, or once a week, you can say so. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I fasting is amazing, and
Yeah.
I remember the first time that I tried fasting, I thought I was gonna die. But it's not part of, like, and for me, like, I'd never done it before, and I'd never been exposed to fasting. It was never part of my cultural upbringing. I have friends that whose parents fasted all the time growing up, and like it was just part of their culture. And I remember going in, and I had this idea about what it had to feel like and what it had to look like, and it was so wrong. And just, the more that I do it, like I did a fast over the weekend, and you feel bloody awesome too. Like your clarity increases, your cognition increases, you got heaps of energy. And if you're not used to it, you just get to keep practicing.
And actually, you feel that you are resetting your system.
Yes.
It's like unplugging it again. Yeah.
100%. And fasting is a really important part of autophagy as well, cellular renewal and getting rid of all the toxic crap in your system. So yeah, thanks for sharing, guys. That was awesome. So what's one habit that you may both want to change?
Oh, me, definitely staying up late, because this caught up with me probably about 3 or 4 months ago. And I was in the habit of staying up till 2:00 in the morning because I found I was very productive, extremely productive in those hours, because, everybody's asleep. I'd start doing work from about 9 to about 2. But then I realized that there were times that I had to get up at 7 and I wasn't getting enough sleep. And after probably many days of doing that consecutively, and over years, it caught up, and I got a bit of chronic fatigue for quite a few weeks, and I was sleeping 10 to 12 hours a day. And then I realized, okay, that's a habit I have to change. I'm working on it. I'm still not 100%, but I'm working on changing that habit. I don't think it's healthy.
Would you say that's your bad habit?
That's my bad habit, yeah.
Okay, so it's the bad habit and the habit you want to change. Because sometimes when I ask this question, people talk about a bad habit and then they talk about a habit they want to change, and they're different habits. They don't want to change the bad habit.
Well, it's bad because it's so unhealthy. Like it's, like it's probably worse than abusing your body with different kind of bad foods and things like that. So it's because every hour after 12 o'clock is supposed to be like 2 hours before then, and it catches up. It makes you feel wrecked, and your mind doesn't work as well. So, and
it's one of those habits where you got to kind of do it the night before. You got to set yourself up for success the night before, so that the rest of the habits for the next day stack. And it's just, you have to reverse engineer this constant battle. And every time you push that out 1 extra hour, 2 extra hours of lack of sleep, that then compounds.
Oh my God, it's so bad. And in the morning, if you get up early before everybody's awake, is so much more productive. That 1 hour in the morning, the days that I have got it right, I found that I can do a third of my day's work in a couple of hours in the morning. And then the rest of the day becomes just an easy day. Yep. But the other way around, I just don't believe that that's good anymore for me.
And that's great that you identified that. And I saw, Ibrahim, when you said that, I saw you just like, yes.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say the same thing. But actually, another bad habit that I honestly try to get rid of, and it's not easy actually, is the overthinking. And actually, it's probably the negative side of being too passionate about something. And this is how actually you need to balance things when we talk about balance. So it's important to focus on things, but it's bad to overthink about things and when they start to consume you. And that's a bad habit I think I need to get rid of. I'm trying.
And so with that habit, so that's a habit that you don't enjoy having, but a habit you want to change. What are you doing? What are you putting in place at the moment to change that? Are you using some sort of mechanism like meditation? Are you using prayer? Like what is it for you that helps you to switch off your brain?
Yeah, as I said, it's like praying or meditation is one useful thing. Forcing yourself to switch from one thing to another thing is another key strategy, because as long as you are just sitting there focusing on what you do, and sometimes you just actually do nothing except keep thinking about it. So start to get working on a different thing. It's gonna shift your mind in one way or another.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Now, Sheehab, you sort of answered this question a little bit earlier. You talked about your 5BX, but do you have morning routines of some sort? So, Ibrahim, I might ask you this question. So, what do you actually do when you wake up? And Sheehab, we'll get back to you too, because there might be some extra stuff that you do. So, from the moment that you wake up, what does your morning normally look like?
Again, because one of my problems is sleeping late. So usually I don't have that much time for myself when I wake up. So usually it's the routine thing, having breakfast with the family, and then taking kids to school, and then going to work. So it's different when you have a break or on a weekend. We love to spend that time, the morning time, with the kids, having some activities. Yeah. So but again, that's. Ideally, you would have this every day if you wake up early.
Exactly. But we're working on that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Sheehab, do you have something else that you do other than your exercises?
Not really. I mean, the first thing I do is those exercises, and I do a bit of stretching. It's nothing fancy, but I do like a couple of, standing up straight, a couple of yoga poses that I do regularly. And that just helps me with my neck and back, because obviously my work, I do a bit of like bending over and things like that. I would like to read in the morning, but I don't always get an opportunity to do it. I do that at night, but I want to change that so that I'm doing that more in the morning. But they're basically my first things that I do. And usually everybody's asleep at that time. And then I get up and do your normal thing, you brush your teeth, and kids are running around, and it becomes like a madhouse afterwards.
Do you both floss your teeth?
I do.
Excellent.
I floss.
Me too.
Yeah. I floss at night.
So my next question is actually, do you have some sort of bedtime ritual? Because you both sort of touched on that a little bit, obviously going to bed late sometimes, which is counterproductive at the best of times. But do you have some ideal way that you like to go to bed to get a really restful night's sleep? And on average, how many hours of sleep do you reckon you both get?
So myself, I do a few stretches, just like the same ones I do in the morning. And then I usually, after I do some prayers and things like that, slip into bed, and I usually try to read about 20 minutes to half an hour, and that will get me to sleep. Doesn't matter how exciting the book is, but by 20 minutes, by the time I get to 30 minutes, I'm dozing off already. So that's probably what I do, obviously, after brushing your teeth and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, nice one. And Ibrahim, what about you, mate?
Yeah, time to go to sleep is usually around 11, 12 o'clock. But sometimes, as you said, when you have too much work and you need to finish it, and probably nighttime is the best time because kids go to sleep early. So it sometimes takes you to like 2 a.m. or something to finish your work. Yeah, which is bad. This is what I'm trying to get rid of. Because ideally I would have like 7 to 8 hours of sleep. But of course, if you slept at 2 a.m., this means that you'll have probably 5 hours of sleep, something like that. So yeah. And when I have the time to, I usually do some prayers before I go to sleep. It helps you clear your mind, and clears your mood, and helps you to relax to be able to go to sleep.
Optimize your male and female hormones with Be Spunky and Be Genki supplements, choosing from Reboot for men, Balance for women, and Recover for performance, all containing natural and organic TGA-listed Australian-made ingredients. These nutraceuticals are designed to offer stress relief, improve strength and stamina, enhance drive, and overall well-being, and I swear by them. So does my husband. Their active formulas are a unique blend of natural and organic herbs and active ingredients, and the highest performance leaders and trainers are already taking it. Why waste more time? Visit bespunky, bespunki.com.au and begenki, begenki.com.au. Use code LOZLIFE and save 10% at both sites. Now, we already spoke about purposeful productivity and what your tips are, but what I'd love to know is what's the one thing you're both actually focusing on this week, and what kind of measures are you going to be putting in place? So maybe that is, I'm going to get to bed earlier, but maybe it's something bigger than that. What are you going to be putting in place to give this goal energy for this next week coming up?
So in the coming week or the following week?
The coming week.
Okay, so aside from all those things I'm trying to fix anyway, I always try to make sure I devote a certain amount of time to patients at work. I make sure that when I go there, I try to get there early, whenever possible. I know if somebody's listening at work right now, they'll say, no, that's not happening every day. But I do that so I can go and check what I do need to do for the patients, give them time of day. One of the things that I am working on is my not very good memory when it comes to names. So I try to go through the names that I have to remember before I see them, and then that way I can, remember them when I see them. So I think they're very small things that I work on, but they help me a lot. And, when I work on them, I feel much more fulfilled because I'm like, oh yeah, I remember such and such. And I can connect with that person a bit better in it because I meet a lot of people. And so those little things probably are what I work on, not just this week, but every week. Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing that. Thanks for your honesty, because that is a big thing. And I think these are the intricacies of people's lives that are fascinating, because there are other people that are listening to this going, I have trouble with that too.
Yeah.
I have trouble remembering names. I see 100 people a day or whatever, and it's, for you, that's one thing that you're focusing on. You're going to give it energy. And I love that you said that you go through at the beginning of your day and you sort of go through people's names. Yeah, that's a really good tip. Now, Ibrahim, what about you, mate? What are you going to focus on over the next week?
So actually, I'm already in the middle of preparing some reports for my work in Griffith. So it takes too much time off on writing, as you know.
Can you just give me one tick?
Yeah.
That's somebody just tried to. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Somebody just tried to call me on FaceTime, which is super weird. At 8:30 at night. Yeah, I can't turn it off. So I'm so sorry. That was just really rude. That just interrupted everything that you said. That's never happened ever.
It came to the computer. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it did. So you said you're doing some work with Griffith?
Yeah. We have a progress report that we need to write and present to our industry partners. So I'm at the middle of doing this at the moment. It's a bit stressing, and that's what I'm trying actually to manage, not to be so stressed.
Yeah, right.
So trying to do a bit of exercise. Especially what happens that when you are too busy, you don't have actually time to exercise. And I found that whenever I do this, it makes you more stressed. So it helps a lot actually to force yourself to stop. Or just at least just going for a walk or something. So and while you feel that it's okay, it's too much to give this time, but it helps you a lot, honestly, because you feel more relaxed, less stressed, and you can focus better on what you do.
For anybody that's interested in learning more about Myospots, where can you suggest they start?
I think it's a good opportunity just to briefly speak about Myospots and explain the idea to people. So, as we mentioned earlier, it's all about exercising tongue muscles. So tongue is a muscle, like any other muscle. And you need to give some time to do exercise. And the people that everyone is having is there is not enough time. And this is
and you just said this, and you
yes,
just said,
exactly,
I don't have time to exercise. And I thought this was going to be a great segue, which it was.
Exactly. And that's the point, honestly, because especially when you talk about tongue exercises, and there are so many exercises that practitioners or physiotherapists or speech pathologists can give you to do. But again, you need to sit, do these exercises, repeat them a number of times a day. And many people will get just very busy. So this is the idea of Myospots. It's provide you, it actually turns your mouth into a gym for your tongue muscles. And you don't need actually to sit and leave whatever you are doing to do the exercise. You can do the exercise while you are working your computer, watching the TV, driving your car, doing whatsoever. So once you put the spot there, it adheres to the roof of the tongue. It starts to work with your tongue, and you don't really need to think about it. It just starts to motivate your tongue to elevate and touch it and force it until it dissolves. And this takes likely 1 hour of continuous exercise. And you can repeat this 2 or 3 times a day. So you get 3 times of exercise without actually sparing any of your time to do this exercise. You are doing this while you're doing other things. And this is simply the beauty of Myospots, because you do a lot and you don't actually disturb your routine at all.
Wow, that's pretty cool. You know, it's like the workout without even knowing your workout. It's better than a Chuck Norris. You've got a door, you've got a gym. Like, it's like you've got a mouth,
Yep.
you've got a tongue, you've got a Myospot, you've got a gym right inside your mouth.
Exactly.
It's all going on. So if people want to learn more about your product, where can they go?
We've got a number of platforms. We've got our Instagram, so the Myospots, Instagram.com/Myospots. The same as Facebook. There are a number of videos on YouTube. I think they're our main platforms at the moment. But you can also come to the website and email us directly at info@myospots.com. And we're always answering emails straight away. So yeah, they're basically the main areas you can find, and you can also order them on the website. But yeah, like what Ibrahim was saying, just to add to that, as a testimony to not realizing that you're working out, it is great because they like it. I mean, because it's flavored in blueberry or banana or strawberry or whatever flavor that's going. Once it's in their mouth, they feel like it's a treat, and their tongue's up there playing with it, and they don't even realize that they're doing exercise. So I always say, if it works with children, it will probably work with adults, and it does. So yeah, that's just to add to what you were saying, Ibrahim, about the exercise.
And that sounds more appealing than Coloplast in the mouth, because that's what I had in my mouth. When I first started, you know, and it's disgusting, you know. So what a great alternative, and what a great way to end this episode, guys, because ending on such a high note where people now know that there's something proactive they can do, and it's not gross. Like your tongue, when you have something at the top of your mouth, it will just do something with it. It cannot help itself. It's like it has a mind of its own. And as somebody that's been through this experience, I can 100% attest to this. I remember when I put little spots on top of my mouth, I was like, what? My tongue was fatiguing because it was constantly up there. It wasn't used to doing it. But it's fascinating. And, you know, the reality is, guys who are listening, there is so much you can do right now to be proactive about your health, and your tongue is the gateway to probably your entire body's immune system. So if you are not breathing adequately, you might be missing out on a stack of benefits that you would get if you didn't have dysfunctional breathing. So once again, Dr. Sheehab, Faragallah, and Dr. Ibrahim El-Deeb, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to chat to me on the Healthy Habit Hot Seat, guys. Absolutely blast to chat. And thanks for sharing some of your funny stories. Guys, make sure you connect with the Myospots team. The notes will be in the show notes, so all of the links will be there down there. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks a lot, Laz.
Thank you very much, Laz.
No worries, and we'll catch up soon.
Yep.
Thank you.
Have a nice night.
Thanks so much for joining us this week on the Healthy Habit Hot Seat. Make sure to visit lozlife.com, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, so you'll never miss an episode. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, I'd be stoked with a 5-star rating on iTunes. Better still, tell a friend and share the love. If you loved this episode, you might want to check out my book, The Healthy Habit Handbook, available in softcover, ebook, and audio form on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Balboa Press, and all good bookstores. Be sure to tune in for our next episode for your fortnightly dose of inspiration from some of the world's most successful and healthy lifestyle masters. Remember, stay inspired. I'm Loz Antonenko, and ciao for now.